I went in expecting a horror flick, and 20 minutes after, I still wasn't sure what I was watching. I stuck through the end, put the movie in my brain oven and let it bake for a while, and I have a lot of things to say about Saint Maud. This film is a character study about a hospice nurse who is absolutely obsessed about the soul salvation of one of her dying patients. And this is not very contrived, and to be honest, there's a lot of different layers of the storytelling. I'm not going to dwell into a lot of them because I want you to discover all of the different interesting perspectives that you can take while watching this film. However, I come from a particular perspective where I have somebody in my family who is very religiously devoted, and I'm not new to caring for somebody who is not well. So I'm looking at the film from a perspective of personal experience, and I honestly feel that after 2 or 3 days of thinking about the film, I can tell you 3 things. First of all, it is not a horror film. Perhaps it's a thriller, but the elements of horror that it does have gave the film an opportunity to be marketed as a horror film, but it's not. The second thing is, the film will leave you thinking about what you just saw and what it means. What some scenes show, you will have to process a little bit after you finish watching the film. And the third one is, it's a long ride. The beginning and the end happen fairly quickly. However, I feel that the middle is a little bit elongated. Perhaps on a second viewing, I will be able to catch something different. But altogether, the film is well shot, incredibly acted. The core of this film, there's 2 main characters that are dealing with loneliness. Maud is dealing with loneliness by connecting with God, and Amanda, the dying character who Maud is caring for, is connecting with people because she doesn't know if there's something after we have left this mortal coil, so to speak. And I feel the film handles loneliness in a very interesting way. At the same time, we spend a lot of time with Maud doing certain things at home, going around, and sometimes meeting with somebody who knows her from before, this other nurse character, Joy, who tries to help us understand where Maud is coming from. And this is where I was left trying to understand what's happening, because there's very little about Maud's background and why she's doing the things that she is doing. There's also another layer of, we need to connect with Maud to understand, is she actually sane? Is she actually connected with God? Or is she suffering from mental illness? And I feel that this topic was brought in a very compelling yet challenging way. And that's what took me a couple of days to process in order to make a faithful judgment on the ending of the film. Towards the end of the film, you indeed will see the horror elements that were used for marketing purposes to be able to put this film into the horror genre. And I know these films were somewhat put in the same category as Ari Aster's Hereditary or Midsommar. I feel that is not an accurate placement for where these films would go on a blockbuster shelf, so to speak. To be honest, the horror elements are necessary and they're gut-wrenching. They're not easy to see. And also they're not easy to digest because it will keep you thinking, what did I just see? So the interesting factor is the mystery, the little nugget that will keep your brain itching for a couple of days like it did with me. Altogether, Maud has an almost transformative journey, but it will leave you thinking, did Maud do this for salvation of herself or the salvation of her patient? Saint Maud is a slow burn character study with horror elements exploring faith and loneliness. I honestly cannot wait to see what Rose Glass is going to direct next. I wonder, what is your favorite movie that leaves you thinking about it for a couple of days? I'm Jin from Get Me More, and you know where to find me. Thanks for watching.